The Super Mario Galaxy movie is officially here, and I had the opportunity to watch this last night, and I will tell you, I was super excited for it. The Fox McCloud reveal, cool. I was still always here for this because, of course, we know the inevitable, end goal here for Nintendo has to be a Super Smash Bros. Film, right? And we're going to talk about that in the spoiler video. Stay tuned for that because I got some thoughts. But let's talk about the movie. Is it great? Is it amazing? $1 billion movie like this one? Yes, it's $1 billion movie. You'll see. It's gonna make $1 billion, no doubt about it. Nintendo's probably just counting in all those millions they're making and thinking, you know what, we're going to the bank. Marvel, you thought, that's a whole other conversation though. But this is the Super Mario Galaxy movie, which takes place after 2023's huge Super Mario movie. And in this one, we see Mario, we see Luigi, we see Bowser, we see Princess Peach, we see Toad make their grand return. Some new faces here that include Yoshi. You also do have Bowser Jr. amongst others. Of course, you already saw the Fox McCloud. There's a couple more surprises here, I'll say that. And I was wondering how this film would have been, right? We have Rosalina center stage, which I thought was a very interesting choice to go for in the next film. I was thinking of other characters, but we'll talk about that in the spoilers, because if I talk about them, it's kind of spoilers. And Rosalina is a great addition here. Brie Larson voicing Rosalina. And I was very excited to see what this whole story would be. And I'll tell you, the animation, first and foremost, I said it in my little video I did, my reaction for it. I think Illumination has some of the best visuals in the game. They always bring a dazzling and just wow factor to their animation. I'm a huge fan of the Minions movie. I'm always going to be there, seated for Despicable Me or Minions. I'm excited for the Minions and Monsters movies. And that's just me. I love those movies. I don't care what nobody says. So when I heard Illumination was doing a Mario movie back in 2022 or 2021, immediately sad. And I love that movie, and I was excited to see what they would do with Galaxy, because I just thought that a bigger world, they're expanding the universe, we have a Zelda movie on the way. I love where Nintendo's headed right now. I think the Switch 2 is incredible. So I sat down, I watched this movie, and I was just like, they keep doing it. The animation is flawless here. There's some breathtaking scenes here throughout. The comedy is still top tier. Subtle little moments, little things that happen in the film had me laughing. And it's not like they're really trying for you to get that laugh out of you. It happens genuinely, and I really appreciated that. And what I also appreciate, that it is great for people that might not be too invested into Nintendo or some of the lore and things like that, but there's still a lot of great things for the very avid gamer, some deep lore things, some amazing Easter eggs that pop up where you're going to be like, wait, like you're going to be like Leo right there. And I was just thinking to myself, this is exactly what I want, right? And I think they did a pretty good job at balancing it out for the casual goer that's going to see this film that might just know Mario, Luigi, Peach, Bowser, Yoshi, and that's as far as they go into the video games, but also keeping it for the very hardcore gamers that really love to see these things be brought onto the big screen. Because yes, I know we hear it so many times, do you want to see your action figures smushed together onto a big screen and that's all you get? And sometimes, that's enough for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm a human being. I love these things. I love seeing childhood nostalgia and all of that be brought to the screen and remembering it, watching it with a crowd, seeing everybody's reactions. Sometimes the simplest things are the best things. I love my complicated movies and all of that and the nuance that they have and all, but I also love a film like this. Not to say that this film doesn't have that, because I think it gets to some very interesting things, maybe on the surface level, about family, about sort of being in the shadow of family and also not knowing who you are or who you should be, destiny and all of that. There's a lot of things here, and for a children's film, of course, I think it kind of dabbles into it a bit in a nice way, in a good way. It doesn't fully go all the way there. Some children's films do, which is great, but here I think that it's Nintendo, it's all of that, so of course it's going to be surface, but I still really appreciated what they were trying to do with all of them. I think the story here is a bit more quick on its feet, which can be good, but also by the end I was kind of like, wait, it's over. And I was just like, as the credits were rolling, that's the only thing I will say, is that I think that the story here doesn't feel as engrossing as it did in the first one, which I really appreciated. I think here it just is super quick and to the point. and I felt like there wasn't enough time to let these characters relish by the end and where we are at this point, because a lot has changed by the end of it, but I know it's because they are saving it for a third film and all of that, which is understandable, but I still would have loved to see some of these characters get a bit more time to shine as well than they actually did. And that was my only problem with the film, is that I feel like there is so much happening, there's so much things being cramped into this one film, where it kind of feels like, hey, I wanted to see more of this character, but I understand because I also want to see that character. And I just wonder if there is a possibility where we could see this Nintendo like trajectory towards the end, which end goal is Super Smash Bros. Maybe an animated series of sorts to really try and connect this and make it really feel whole, because at this point it's kind of feeling like we're going in a direction, we're not fully there, where it feels shallow and just like a money grab, which of course Hollywood is all money, but it, you know, you're getting to a point where I'm starting to feel like that's all you want to do, right? And of course, fan service and all that is important. It's important also to do it casually enough for the regular film goer to go see it, but still, I would love to see a little bit more into these characters. I think that everything else is great here. I think that the voice acting has improved as well from the first one. I know a lot of people had a feeling about that first one, specifically with Chris Pratt. I think that there was a lot with his voice. I think the Mario voice here, he's kind of nailed it a little bit better, which I really love. I think Jack Black as well. A lot of these like voice actors in this film have definitely like stepped up their game from the previous film, which I thought was great. Still would have loved to see some other voice actors that can do a better job as well. Overall though, I thought it was a great film. I had a good time. I really enjoyed the story, although it is a bit thin and it really does rely on short gags and more of Easter eggs than the first one as well. I still think it was great, and I really love to see them highlighting just everything about Nintendo, even going back to the 80s, also to the current Nintendo games and all of that. I think they always do a great job at doing that. I think the film maybe would have been heightened a bit more if they just focused a bit more and gave these characters more of a platform to shine. Maybe an additional 20 minutes wouldn't have hurt, because I would have sat there and watched 20 more minutes of this film. So it runs about an hour 35. If they went to the full 2 hours and they gave us enough time with these characters, I would have been excited to see that. But alas, that's what we got. Overall, I think it definitely is still a great film. I do enjoy the first one more, just because I think that the story's a little bit better and more well-rounded. But I still really love this one also, and I think anybody who likes the first movie is going to have a blast with this one. Specifically, watching it with a group of people and just seeing all of the callbacks, all of the Nintendo characters appear, and just getting super excited and amped up for the future. 2 post-credit scenes, by the way, one right after the initial credits and a second one once all of the credits run, like all the way to the very end. There are 2 post-credits. One is more, I would say, of a gag of sorts, also a little bit of a tease of what's to come, and I think the second one's going to be a tease specifically for the Super Mario Bros. 3 film, because it's happening, and it's kind of exciting to think of those possibilities. Overall though, I definitely recommend this one on the biggest screen based on the animation. Honestly, these are some amazing, dazzling sequences you have to catch on the big screen, so catch it on the big screen when you can. I'm excited to talk spoilers with y'all. That video should be up probably tomorrow night or Thursday. Stay tuned for that, and we will talk about what's to come in the Nintendo world as well. So let me know your thoughts and opinions on Super Mario Galaxy movie. Did you like it? Did you not? Do you think it is time to stop? I'm telling you, they're not going to stop. $1 billion movie, $1 billion franchise is here to stay. This is insane. This is going to be a new one if it goes for like every single movie makes $1 billion, which I can possibly see. So anyways, as always, that is going to do it for me. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is the goal. We got a ton of videos your way, a ton of trailers, things to discuss. So don't miss out on it. And as always, I'll see all of you next time. Stay safe, stay positive.